Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another GC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be doing episode number 36 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my viewers' teams with the best teams possible for my team unlimited and or competitive play based on how much NT they have and what their squad is currently looking like. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 25,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of consistent daily my team content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, Devin Booker, Peyton Watson, Paulo, Kwame, and Arvydas Sabonis in the first team. Bench is looking okay as well. My first thought with this team is number one, Pink Diamond Jeremy Sohan is much better than Jason Kidd. Honestly, I think he's probably better than Devin Booker as well. But if you want to start Book, I got no issues with that. But Jeremy Sohan should be your backup point guard. Number two, Artis is better than Arvydas, so you should be starting Arvydas. So that's number two. Number three, when you get Jokic level 40, realistically, I would probably recommend sliding Booker to the 2 and going Jokic, Booker, and then Sohan, Korver off the bench, probably, would be what I would recommend. And definitely make sure you switch Artis and Arvydas. Honestly, I think there are other bigs that are better than Arvydas too. But if you want that size at 7 foot or 7'3", I don't totally blame you. I don't know. I like this team. I think getting Jokic will help. Honestly, once you get level 37, you can also get Dr. J. So then you could just have Jokic, Dr. J. And then you could run like Sohan, D-Book off the bench or Sohan, Korver. I would still run Sohan over D-Book though. So if you want to run D-Book at the backup too, I would get that. But you can get Dr. J out of the option pack and Jokic from level 40. And then you'll have Jokic, Dr. J, Paulo, Kwame, and Artis. And then your bench can be some form of Sohan, Booker, Jimmy, Mobley, and I guess for the time being Arvydas would be what I would think. That sounds pretty good to me, to be honest. Second squad today comes in from Broderick. He's got 100K. This team, it needs some work. Backup shooting guard being Derek White isn't what you want. You definitely should be using Chris Middleton. Honestly, Chris Middleton's probably better than Pink Diamond Kobe too, but I understand the Pink Diamond Kobe familiarity factor. Don't love Jokic, but he's not awful. Dark Matter Embiid is good. I like Lowry. I don't love this Sabonis card, but at 7'1", he does have more size for center than Dwight. I kind of like Dwight more personally, but this is the type of team where, I mean, if you could grind out tokens, get Dark Matter George Mikan would be a good card to get if you could add him in the next week or two. That would definitely be a target of mine, would be to save your tokens and get that George Mikan card. Another target would be potentially just completing a mode for RJ Barrett so that you have another good shooting guard small forward. Eventually, like, definitely got to put Chris Middleton in here for Derek White. And then I think eventually you're going to want to get another small forward as well so you can move Rudy or Wiggins. Or even if you get Mikan, you could put Mikan here, Jokic off the bench, move Lowry to the 3 to replace Wiggins. Like, there's a lot of versatility there. I would run Sohan, by the way, backup point guard over Drew. So for me, your bench should be Sohan, Chris, and then I guess Wiggins, or maybe even Lowry, Dwight, and Sabonis would be what I would run size-wise. I think that makes more sense for now anyway. I don't know. This team isn't bad, but it needs some work, and I think grinding some of those rewards like an RJ Barrett, like tokens for Nikola Jokic, obviously grinding the level 40 for Dr. J and Jokic as well will help your team out a bunch as a whole. I think that's what I would be recommending. K1 Darrow says he hasn't played this season much at all, but he has Peja, Korver, and Marion. Wasn't sure if they can start or bench. I hate this DeMar DeRozan card. I'm going to be honest. I think he's terrible. The rest of your team isn't bad, although you definitely need a taller point guard because all you have is short point guards. Gilbert Arenas, Steph, and Eddie Jones. Me personally, I'm replacing Steph with Jeremy Sohan. I know I've talked about that card in every team so far. He is so good for his price, and you have enough MT to get him, even with only 47K. Also, Kyle Korver is purely better than DeMar DeRozan. There's just, in my opinion, no argument about that. So for me, what I'm probably doing is I'm going Gilbert Chris starting, and then I'm going Sohan Korver off the bench. Or maybe you go Sohan Chris off the bench and Gilbert Korver starting. That's also an option. I don't like that DeRozan card though, so probably would take him out of the lineup. Honestly, I like Iggy more than DeRozan. That's not even a lie. This team's not bad, though. I think as a whole, just a couple of replacements there. Definitely get a bigger point guard option, so it provides more size and versatility. You're going to want that size, especially when you match up against a Ben Simmons or a Jokic or somebody like that at point guard. You're going to want that 6'8" defensive point guard. Black Me has 110,000 MT, says he's on current gen, which is why Terry's over Larry. Larry's jumper on current, I don't know. Is it bad? I honestly don't know. So if Larry's jumper on current is bad, then maybe you don't use him. Maybe you use Lauri Markkanen. If he's pretty good, I would still probably use him because I think he's a pretty good card. I don't love your bigs, specifically Marc Gasol, but everything else I do like. I like Joel. Honestly, you know what I would do? I would start a mecha next to Artis, and I would go Lowry, Joel off the bench, and I'd keep using Bird and go Lowry back up 4, Joel back up 5, so you can take Marcus out of the lineup. I like that. Now, your point guard position is your weakest position by far. Also, your backup shooting guard, Wiggins, is kind of a weak spot. You only have 110K, you said. Point guards that you can grind right now. I mean, I think D'Angelo Russell is still available, although I don't think he's incredible. Unfortunately, SGA and Clyde are not anymore. I mean, the free point guards are, while there are a ton of good free point guards, not a lot of them are available right now. So again, it's like Drew Holiday's a good one, so I would use him, and then, but probably use him off the bench and grab Jeremy Sohan. You need a shot-creating shooting guard, though. Definitely complete those playoffs challenges for Chris Middleton. By the way, one thing I will say, I'm recording this video at 11:30. The cards that are coming tomorrow, which there's going to be a bunch of good free content tomorrow, a lot of those cards will likely improve some of these lower-tier teams and fill some of these spots. So be considering grinding out some of those cards as well if y'all are watching this video. They haven't come out yet, so I can't tell y'all who to grind because as I'm recording this video, those cards haven't come out. But though there could be a lot of good reward cards that can help a team like this as well, potentially tomorrow, a new point guard. Definitely get Chris Middleton, though, right now at shooting guard and buy Jeremy Sohan, and then put Larry back at 4, Joel back at 5, start a mecha at the 4, and right now your team is cooking, I think. Sebastian says he's no money spent besides the Pro Pass a couple times. He doesn't play him on loan besides salary cap and unlimited. He has all the time to world in the grind if he wanted to. Okay, I like this team. I think you're missing something in your starting lineup. You don't have much shot creation whatsoever in your starting lineup. And your bench is a little questionable as well in some other ways. I think as good as Ben is, this is going to be an interesting suggestion. I would actually, with this team specifically, slide SGA to your starting 2. And use SGA as your primary ball handler, and then have Ben for his size as a secondary. Larry isn't the best secondary in the world either, but he's not bad. You could even put SGA and Chris Middleton in your starting lineup at the 2 and the 3, and then bring Larry off the bench. Go like Jeremy Sohan again for 42,000 MT. Is like, I know I'm recommending for every team, but I don't see why you wouldn't, especially because you need the shooting guard help. If you want to, you could also just start Chris and Jimmy together, and those guys can both be solid ball handlers next to Ben, and then you bring Larry off the bench. I don't think Larry's a great ball handler in himself, so I don't know if he fits that well next to Ben, because that kind of gives you 2 mediocre ball handling guys. Obviously, Ben is a very capable ball handler. He's just not a threat as a shooter, so it makes him a little easier to guard at times. He is a threat as a shooter if he's left wide the you-know-what open, but generally speaking, he's not that huge of a threat as a shooter. So, in my opinion, I think you got to figure something out here, whether it's SGA at the 2 and buying Sohan, whether it's putting Chris Middleton and Jimmy in your starting lineup, whether it's putting Kobe and Jimmy in your starting lineup if you like Kobe more than Chris. Like, figure it out there. Definitely make some adjustments. Also, I think Paulo should be playing back up 4 and maybe Rudy back up 3 just to give you a little more size off the bench. I don't love Boogie back up 5 either, but for the time being, he'll work, as well as Jokic if they need to. Not anybody I can recommend right now that's going to be a huge upgrade over those guys. So, size-wise that you can get for free. If you can save your MT and get Artis Gilmore, he's the backup center at upgrade, but right now you don't have the MT for that. Putz says he will have level 30 point guard Jokic and he has 930k MT. See, this is much more of a god squad than most of the teams that I've reviewed. I'm sorry, but it's a very, very good team. And once he has Jokic, I am starting Jokic next to Glenn and PG because both those guys are elite ball handlers. Jokic himself isn't the most unbelievable ball handler, but his size makes up for that value-wise. Embiid is good, but he fits better at your backup 5 and starting Kwame at the 4 for his release, in my opinion. So for me, it's Jokic, Glenn, Paul, Kwame, and KP is your starting lineup. And then off the bench, you go with either SGA or Clyde, depending on who you prefer, as well as Dr. J and Kawhi still. Backup 4 can be one of Hans, Psycho T, or Akeem still, and then backup 5 is Embiid would be what I would recommend for this team. And I think you have an awesome team. I just think I'm rearranging it just a little bit, but as a whole, this is a great squad, and this is the type of team where you're literally just waiting for new content to come out, and you have a lot of MT that you're sitting on as well. So this dude's definitely got himself a squad, and definitely respect it. So with that being said, that is the last team in today's video, so we're going to call it there. I hope y'all did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Hopefully we get some really good free content tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Obviously, we'll find out here in just a little bit. Y'all will already know, I guess, probably by the time that y'all see this video. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Hope y'all did enjoy. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.